without further ado, you know what? I think we're going to bring on our first guest. If you guys don't know Repeat Repeat, you should, because I think you're seriously missing out. Joining us. He's just honestly, they're such a great band. I can't really put it into words. It's kind of hard to describe how great they are, but there he is, the man himself, Jared. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you, buddy? Thanks for
I'm
having me.
well, doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
For starters, let's get it going. How's quarantine life treating you?
It's been all right actually. We about a year and a half ago, Kristen sings in the band, and she also is my wife, but not in that order. We bought a farm about an hour outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
And so we've got like 12 acres and 12 rescue animals. And so we were kind of socially distancing before it was popular.
There you go.
So when they were like, everyone stay home, we were pretty much already doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, we had just kind of come off a big year of touring and everything. So we were planning on working on new music anyway. So it just kind of gave us an excuse for that. I mean, it has its moments, I think, for everybody, especially if you are sensitive to the world around you or anything like that. I think it's hard not to feel, really weary at times. But
True.
aside from the psychological effects, we've actually been doing all right. So
Nice.
that's good. I've been thankful for that.
That's very good. Yeah. So I guess everyone's talking about flattening the curve when in reality you guys were ahead of the curve, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like I'm like, we really won't get sick, and then they're talking about it coming back in the fall, really horribly and everything like that potentially, and if that's the case, it's like I think we've got maybe like 6 people for like 60 acres, so there's nobody close. We're safe and sound, and we're good.
Good. That's good to hear. So I guess in this time of like quarantine and self-isolation, aside from music, because I'm sure you guys have been cooking up some good stuff, what have you found yourself doing anything that maybe you haven't done before, or maybe something that you didn't do very often that you've had a lot more time to do now?
Well, yeah. I mean, it has felt very productive at times.
Hmm.
I have been really into like woodworking and building. I think just living in like a 100-year-old house out in the woods, you kind of have to learn how to fix a lot of stuff. So I've been building a lot of stuff. And I also, when we got back from a tour in the fall last year, I kind of have this like epiphany that I had never really taken time in my life to learn like any skill outside of music. I've been a musician since I was a little kid. So I realized this, after that point, I was like, there's this weird moment when you come home from a long tour where you're not doing what you were doing every second on the road, and you realize like, and you're not going to go right back out. So it's a weird feeling. It can be kind of depressing and can definitely cause some anxiety. So I realized I want to learn some new skills. Woodworking was one of them. I also bought a tattoo gun. I was like, if anything, even if I'm not that good, I'll be able to save some money giving myself tattoos. So I've given myself one on my leg, but besides that, but I just, and then besides that, we've been reading a bunch, and I feel like we've caught up with some friends that maybe we haven't caught up with, in a long time, just because you're sitting around. It's like not much else to do. And I feel like we've probably talked to our family and stuff more just because they're not doing anything either. So, so yeah, I think it's just certainly a lot of time to reflect and figure out, what to do to not lose your mind a little bit.
I feel that it's tough because there's days for me personally I'll wake up and I'm like, I'm fine, like it's crazy what's going on, but like I'm fine, and then I'll wake up like the next day and I'm like, this shit's getting out of control.
Yeah.
So it's everyone's taking it one day at a time, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think Kristen and I consider ourselves both to have a lot of empathy, and we've rescued a dozen animals, and I don't know, we just feel like very emotionally connected to people and animals on a energy level, right? And it's a weird time in the world, especially living out here. We're in the South, and we're in the country in the South. We're not even in the city. Like Nashville's a little bit more progressive than we are out here. Not Chris and I, but being out here. So even just going to that grocery store down the street in the countryside, it's like, it feels like a lot of divisiveness and stuff, and so it can be really, even if we're not personally depressed or feeling anxious or anything like that, I think just the energy of the world and people's, people who want to go out versus people who want to stay in, it causes a lot of like internal, internal rift. And it can be really detrimental to your health, to your sleep. I feel like I don't sleep as well right now, and I think it's really attributed to a lot of that,
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, let's hit up a positive note here. So it's approaching the 1-year anniversary of your last album, Glazed, because I think, if I'm remembering correctly, it came out, I think, at the end of this month, last year.
Yeah. I think it was like May 30th.
I think so, yeah. And you guys, honestly, just for starters, what a great album. Also, great title for it, Glazed. I think it suits it so well. It's just filled with, beautiful harmonies, really uplifting lyrics, and Glazed just suits the whole vibe of the album so well. So congrats on making an incredible record, for starters. And with the 1-year anniversary, looking back, you had Patrick Carney working very closely on that record with you, which is incredible. I think most people watching here probably know who Patrick Carney is for a multitude of reasons. He's a legend. And how did that relationship start? And to continue with that, how was it working with him on the record?
Yeah, well, it started completely by, not by chance, but not by any chance of our own, really. We were connected by our attorney, actually. We have the same attorney. She sent some of our stuff to Patrick, and he liked it, and he wanted to meet with us. And that's literally all it was. I feel like a lot of opportunities in this industry are really just come from relationships that you build, and the people you meet, because you could meet someone and just, it could be a cool hang, and years down the road, you find yourself making a record with that person. So you just never really know. And so I think we were on our way to Shaky Knees Festival in Atlanta when we got a call that he wanted to meet with us. And so we just went to his house. There was we had no clue what was going to happen from there. And so we just went to his house, and he had us over for a couple hours, and we just sat around and talked about music. And at one point he was just like, play me some demos. And so I had a few on my phone. So I played those. And then, really from there, he was like, this is cool. We can work with this. He's kind of a stoic guy. You know what I mean?
Very stoic.
Yeah, and at first he's kind of hard to read, and also it's like, he is probably the most successful person we've collaborated with up to this point. So, you're just sitting on his couch and you're looking at his like gold records, and I remember seeing them on the Brothers tour at the Ryman, and he was like, let's do one song, and you guys can go do some more songs with other producers and stuff from there. And so he was like, can you come back tomorrow? We were like, sure. So we came back and did another song. That turned into the end of that day. We finished recording a song, and he was like, let's do another song. Play me some more demos. So we did the second one. And that, we came back the next day, and then that turned into like a 3 a.m. text from him that was like, I'd love to produce the whole record if you guys would have me. And that was a weird moment, It's like, if we will give Patrick Carney permission to make a record with us. Wow. So yeah, that was wild. And then the process was really, it was kind of like this flash in the pan. I mean, we did it in 20 12-hour days. We made the record.
Wow.
We worked Monday through Friday for 12 hours, and we didn't take lunch breaks. I mean, and at the time we were moving to this house. So we would move at night an hour across town, and then we wake up at like 7 a.m. and then drive an hour back into town to record with Patrick for 12 hours, and then go to our old house and pack shit up, and then drive another hour. So it was this like whirlwind constantly.
Wow.
And Yeah, but it was just this moment for us where we just were like gonna say yes to as many things as possible, and you know, see what opportunities that brought about. So, at any point, if we came, I mean, there were moments where we were pretty much finished with the song. I mean, we were done. We were doing like overdubs on vocals, and he'd be like, I'm not feeling it. He's like, I think we need to rewrite all the lyrics on this song, and we were just like, yes, sure, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like. Yes, we'll try anything, and I think that's one thing one compliment he gave us was like, you guys are so great and easy to work with, like, and that's something I think we pride ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it formed certainly a lasting relationship with him and his family, and you know, that turned into them taking us on tour, and I think we'll work with Patrick anytime he'll have us, and I know that he'll have us at some point. So we'll, you know, it won't be the end of us working with him, and it was a pleasure. You know, it was a pleasure. It's also tricky too because at times, you know, you feel like this is your first big shot. You know. We had done some other cool stuff. I mean, we did Bonnaroo and things like that. You're still like playing small stages and stuff, and that's you're like working your way up, right?
Right.
This was like thrust into like, we're making a record with this huge famous person. And literally, I think like a month before our record came out, they announced their first record in like 5 years and you know, tour with them. So it really, you know, it can be really a crazy moment in time to just be like, what is happening right now? And you don't want to screw it up, and you don't want to like say the wrong thing or do the wrong things, but you also like want to be authentic and be genuine in your art. And so we just tried to like ride the wave and just be as like true to ourselves, but also like, you know, respect and follow this person that has definitely paved the way before us.
Of course, yeah. Oh, that's incredible. The fact that you got to go on tour with them as well and had those few special dates, that's a dream come true, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it was 12 dates, and it was like one of them was here in Nashville, so we got to play the arena in Nashville like almost 10 years to the day that I moved to Nashville for music. So
wow,
it was a whole 2 weeks that I'll never forget. You know,
absolutely.
And it was. I always tell people it was absolutely perfect in every way. There was like nothing bad about that tour. Usually with a tour, I'm sure, as you know, it's like something is always fucked up or broken.
Always that one thing.
Yeah, and literally like nothing went wrong and nothing was bad and nothing sucked, and it was all just awesome. So
that's amazing, man. Well, Jared, I won't keep you much longer. I do have one more question for you.
Sure.
So basically, once this whole quarantine thing kind of smooths itself out and chills a little bit, what's next to Repeat? Do you guys have anything lined up? I know it's been a year since Clay, so you have time. There's no pressure.
Yeah. I don't really sit still very well, and we started working on some new music right around October. Okay. So even though when we put new music out, it's gonna feel like we're making our quarantine record or something. We, again, not to be that guy, but I feel like we were working on our quarantine record before it was time to quarantine. So yeah, so we have a lot of songs that we have almost finished, and we're gonna start rolling those out at some point soon. We're just kind of formulating our plan right now of action. And to be honest with you, I think that this chapter, with all that we've learned and all that we've experienced, and you know, the ups and downs of this industry, I think this is like the music I'm definitely like the absolutely most proud of and like most excited for people to hear. I think we finally really tapped into what we're trying to say and what we're trying to sound like, and what kind of lasting impression we're trying to leave. So I'm really fucking pumped on getting some of this music out there, and nice. I think it's going to be all I know is that we feel really proud of it, and that's all I can really speak to you about it. I mean, I don't know if everyone else will feel the same way, but we're really pumped on it.
Well, dude, I speak on behalf of my band. I speak on behalf of basically everyone I know who knows your band when I say that we can't wait for it. So
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's my
Thank you
pleasure.
for having me. And
Dude, Jared.
I know we'll cross paths soon, hopefully in person.
I know.
And I'm sure we'll share a stage at some point.
I look forward to that happening, man. Jared, thank you so much for coming on, man. Best of luck and enjoy the social isolation living because you guys are killing it right now. So honestly, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening and following along, and we appreciate it. And be safe out there, all right?
Same to you, man. Cheers.
Thanks, man.